Jerry?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Show me the money.
LeBron James has the most money to show among active NBA players. According to CelebrityNetWorth.com, James' net worth is an estimated $480 million, ranking him 5th on the all-time list of richest NBA players ever. According to Forbes, he is also the highest paid player in the league today in terms of total earnings. It's a title James holds for the 6th straight year, as his endorsement deals are keeping him ahead of the pack. LeBron's contract with the Los Angeles Lakers earned him $37,436,858 in the 1920 NBA season, and his endorsement deals contributed with roughly $55 million. With approximately $92 million earned in the 1920 season, LeBron's name is written in the record books as an athlete who made the most in a single year. James has publicly admitted he is chasing the ghost that played in Chicago, wanting to become the greatest to ever play. But it isn't the only ghost he's chasing. He's building his empire, trying to become the wealthiest individual who ever laced him up. Let's see how he's doing. Coming straight out of high school, James was the most hyped NBA prospect in recent history. He got drafted first overall in the 2003 NBA draft, becoming the member of his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers. His first contract paid $18.8 million over 4 years. LBJ's production has been off the charts, and he's been compensated more than well, as he signed a 3-year $60 million extension before the 07-08 season. LeBron's contract was up in 2011 when the decision happened. ESPN aired LeBron's announcement on joining the Miami Heat, a move many hold against him to this day. A move that was described as selfish, heartless, and cowardly betrayal, drew even bigger criticism for being televised. James was despised for it, despite it raising roughly $6 million for charity. Nevertheless, the Big Three was formed, as both LeBron and Chris Bosh came at a cut rate. They signed matching 6-year, $110 million contracts, making roughly $14.5 million in their first year. James took $15 million less over the life of the contract, but he did win 2 NBA titles, taking off the burden of not having a ring. After 4 seasons with the Heat, James decided to return to the Cavs, trying to deliver on the promise of taking his hometown team all the way. As you know, LBJ delivered, winning the organization's first NBA title in 2016. In his first years back home, James purposely signed 1-year contracts to maximize his earnings in the midst of a sudden increase in the cap. After he delivered the title in 2016, LeBron committed on a 3-year deal worth $100 million, earning $30.96 million in his second contract year and becoming the highest paid player in the league for the first time in his career. His run with the Cavs ended in 2018 when James signed with the Lakers as a free agent. He signed a 3+1 player option deal worth around $153 million, with an annual average of around $38 million. According to SportTac, James has made about $307 million to date over 17 years of playing basketball, and will make around $387 million when his contract with the Lakers is up. When it's all said and done, he'll have made much more than $400 million in basketball earnings, and that's just from the on-court stuff alone. To analyze LeBron's total on-court earnings, we can take a look at the following table. Playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers from 2003 until 2010 earned James $62 million. Playing for the Miami Heat from 2010 until 2014 earned James an additional $64 million. His second stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers, playing from 2014 until 2018, earned James $107 million. His first contract with the Lakers, playing from 2018 until 2020, earned James $73 million. His estimated earnings after 17 NBA seasons equal to roughly $307 million. That's not taking into consideration LeBron's latest contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, playing from 2020 until 2022, which should earn him an additional $80 million. LeBron's on-court performances enable him to build his business empire. Thus, James has dozens of endorsement deals with the likes of Microsoft, State Farm, Coca-Cola, Samsung, Baskin-Robbins, etc. Other than being the endorser for Beats by Dre, James also owns 1% of the company, a share he negotiated back in 2008. The company was bought by Apple for around $2.6 billion in cash and $400 million in stocks, with LBJ taking home $30 million from the deal. Despite all the deals LeBron has going for him, his biggest source of income off the court remains his endorsement deal with Nike. James officially became the face of Nike at the age of 18. Interestingly, he had a better offer on the table at the time, but he turned it down. Being the next big thing in the NBA, shoe companies were eager to sign James. Adidas offered him a $60 million contract, and Nike came in with an $87 million offer. But it wasn't the most money on the table, as Reebok made its pitch with a massive $115 million deal up for the taking. With the likes of Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, and Venus Williams already endorsing Reebok, it was alluring for James to join the group of elite athletes. Nike's pitch was different. They held numerous meetings with James and his representatives, to which LeBron and his friends were flying in private jets. They were doing everything to make up for the fact that he would leave $28 million on the table if he was going to wear swoosh. LeBron eventually settled with the lower offer, signing with the better long-term option. He made sure that it was the right decision, as he signed a lifetime endorsement deal with Nike in 2015. The deal is speculated to be around $30 million a year, meaning that LeBron's Nike deal will bring him a figure north of $1 billion over the remainder of his life. It makes the $28 million sacrifice worthwhile, especially since Reebok doesn't sponsor any of the current NBA players. King James is known for bringing his inner circle into various businesses. Apart from James, the circle consists of businessmen Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and Randy Mims. The four Horsemen, as the group likes to call themselves, has helped the superstar grow his brand, with Carter being James's right-hand man in terms of his business decisions. Paul is the founder of sports management firm Clutch Sports, and Mims serves as LeBron's chief of staff. Additionally, the King also co-founded a media company called Uninterrupted along with his longtime buddy Carter. Its establishment was a byproduct of the decision, as LeBron wanted to have full control over messages he was sending out. Thus, Uninterrupted was born. It's a perfect platform for him and other athletes to speak up in a controlled manner. LeBron and Maverick Carter are also the co-founders of the production company Spring Hill Entertainment, a company that creates compelling stories for television, features, and digital. Their most significant project, the long-awaited sequel of MJ's hit Space Jam: A New Legacy, is set to be released in 2021. The Shop continues to be a very popular TV series with LeBron, other athletes, musicians, and celebrities debating on different barbershops around the country. The company has also created trendy documentary pieces such as Shut Up and Dribble, Student Athlete, and What's My Name? Muhammad Ali. James also has his fingers in the food industry, as he decided to invest in Blaze Pizza back in 2012. James went all in with Blaze Pizza after he walked away from a $15 million deal with McDonald's in 2017. The same year, his stake in the business was worth at least $40 million. It's hard to assume what it is today, as Blaze Pizza continues to be one of the fastest growing restaurant chains ever. His latest business venture was in 2018 when James teamed up with Cindy Crawford, Lindsey Vonn, and Arnold Schwarzenegger to launch a wellness and health company called Ladder. Being the sports fan he is, LeBron decided to go out of his way and invest in a soccer team. His involvement with Liverpool FC began in 2011 as he received a 2% stake in the club for approximately $6.5 million. In the meantime, Liverpool's value skyrocketed. At the time James became a part owner of the club, the value was estimated at around $325 million. Today, the English soccer club is valued at approximately $2.18 billion, with James' stake growing nearly 7 times more to roughly $43 million. It was an investment well worth it and a perfectly timed business decision. James is not a regular sight at Anfield, but he's seen a fair share of Liverpool play. That's until he accomplishes his ultimate goal of owning an NBA team. In the meantime, he'll have to get by partly owning an English soccer giant, a very shrewd investment to say the least. By the age of 36, LeBron earned more than $600 million solely from his business interests. His off-court ventures remain his primary source of income, as he continues to expand his business, continuously searching for new opportunities. With the amount of money he had earned in his career, it's safe to assume James will own some of the things that are out of reach for regular human beings. His cars, for example. LeBron has an impressive collection of cars, from old-timers and sports cars to luxurious sedans. He owns a fully restored 1975 Chevy Impala convertible, Bentley Continental GT, 2010 Chevy Camaro SS, and the Dodge Challenger SRT. He's also quite the Ferrari guy, having 3 of them parked in his garage. James also owns 2 Maybachs, a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, Porsche, and Rolls-Royce Phantom, which was gifted to him for his birthday in 2009 by none other than Shaq. His most expensive vehicle is a custom Lamborghini Aventador with an approximate value of $670,000. Apart from being a car enthusiast, LeBron also owns a few real estates. His most recent buying is a stunning 16,000 square foot, $23 million mansion in Brentwood, LA. It's the second LA house James owns, as he has made his first foray into LA real estate in 2015 after he bought a 9,000 square feet, $21 million mansion also in Brentwood. The purchase happened after LeBron famously returned home from the Heat. A few months before buying a house in LA, James sold his Miami Coconut Grove mansion for $13.4 million, netting a $4 million profit. LeBron also owns a house in Ohio, and that's the first real estate he had ever bought. He purchased the property in 2003 and over the years built another 30,000 square feet onto the mansion. Go in there and you'll find a bowling alley, recording studio, sports bar, home theater, and even a barbershop, along with 6 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. The property is now worth more than $9 million. LeBron's luxurious lifestyle is best described with the fact that he owns a $1 million watch collection. Throughout James's NBA career, he was seen with some fancy timepieces on his wrist. He even teamed up with Audemars Piguet, a luxurious company favored by many in the entertainment industry, and designed a $51,500 Royal Oak offshore chronograph with only 600 of them going on sale. Other than owning a multi-million dollars worth of assets, the superstar is a generous philanthropist. He is the man behind the I Promise campaign, sending 1,100 kids to college, a project with an estimated worth of $41 million. Throughout his program, he has also helped open a new public school in Akron for at-risk children, calling it the most important project of his career. It's a public school formed in a collaboration between LeBron's foundation and Akron Public Schools. It includes a school day of 8 hours, a support circle for students after lunch, GED courses, and job placements for parents, all to help kids overcome what James went through as an Akron kid and allowed him to have a successful life. James is also known for investing a lot of money in his body, reportedly spending over $1.5 million yearly. He uses cryotherapy, hyperbaric chambers, Normatec leg boots, etc. He also has personal chefs and trainers and is on a strict routine and diet. He's replicated gyms from the organizations he was a part of, bringing all the equipment from the team's gyms into his own house. It's an investment that has paid dividends over the long run, as he continues to be a dominant NBA force in his 17th season in the league. The trajectory he's on, it's safe to say LeBron will join the billion-dollar athlete club, something only one NBA player was ever able to do, and it's his airness. It's also safe to say his net worth will surpass $1 billion since he's the one who has his fingers in so many pies. It will be exciting to see LeBron's life after basketball, as 3 things are for sure. He'll be successful at whatever he does, he'll have a lot of money to show, and he'll continue to give back to his community. Will LeBron James go down as the wealthiest athlete ever played the sport? Let us know what you think in the comments, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more great basketball content. Thank you for watching.